News returns with a new episode on a new night, starting this Wednesday at 8/7 Central.
Now at 10 civilians trapped, others rush to escape as the Russian onslaught of Ukraine intensifies. Tonight, a proposed ceasefire brings hope, but also skepticism.
Plus, gas prices soar to new record highs with no end in sight as lawmakers debate whether to cut off Russian oil imports to the U.S.
And 7 years after a massive oil spill off the Santa Barbara coast, offshore oil drilling could resume. The decision expected in just hours. Now on the news at 10. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. New developments in Ukraine tonight as Russian bombs hit new civilian targets and the U.S. considers a ban on Russian oil that could send gas prices higher.
A defiant President Volodymyr Zelensky says he'll stay in Ukraine's capital and is not afraid of anyone. We have live team coverage on the fighting, the fallout, and the impact. KTLA's Pedro Rivera with breaking developments live from the newsroom. Pedro.
In less than an hour, so-called humanitarian corridors are set to open to civilians trying to leave the war zones. But Ukraine has not agreed to the conditions since many of Russia's proposed routes will lead Ukrainians out of the country to Russia or Belarus. Now take a look at this video coming into our newsroom showing the latest Russian aggression. It shows enormous flames breaking out at two oil depots in a region just outside of Kyiv after Russian airstrikes. No one was injured, but people nearby were evacuated and crews were able to isolate the flames. Tonight, government officials believe Russia is trying to make the situation dire by cutting off vital supplies like power or water to civilians, but President Zelensky released a video saying he has no plans to flee. For the first time since the start of the invasion, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke from inside his office with a direct message towards Russians. He isn't going anywhere. Zelensky from his cell phone showing off the Kyiv skyline before sitting down for his address.
Залишаюсь у Києві, на Банковій.
Zelensky vowing to stay put in the capital city as the United Nations reports 1.7 million Ukrainians have left their country. That's equivalent to the entire population of Phoenix, Arizona, packing up and leaving. Some families staying together and others shedding tears forced to separate from their loved ones. Volunteers in Poland doing what they can to comfort families through these uncertain times.
Most of them are just very, very tired, terrified, and confused because they don't know what to expect. It's also hard for us to see heartbreaking children, so we're trying to give them sweets to cheer them up a little.
But the Russian onslaught continues onto its 12th day. Russian military officials releasing video of hundreds of tanks heading towards key cities as the attacks and civilian casualties mount. A journalist from the New York Times says this picture shows the aftermath she witnessed of Russians firing mortars in the path of fleeing families. And from South Ukraine, this cell phone video shows the repercussions of Russians attacking residential buildings with rocket attacks. The UN reports more than 360 civilians have been killed since the start of the invasion. The Kremlin has proposed potential ceasefires and exit routes in 6 Ukrainian cities, but some of the escape routes lead into Russia or Belarus, which are unlikely destinations preferred by Ukrainians. And Zelensky has asked for a no-fly zone again or more planes to help in the fight, but the U.S. ambassador to NATO has repeated that the United States and NATO do not plan to support a no-fly zone over fears of escalating the invasion into a global war. Both sides have agreed for a 4th sit-down this Thursday between the Ukrainian foreign minister and his Russian counterpart. Live in the newsroom, Pedro Rivera, KTLA 5 News.
Pedro, thank you. The U.S. is reportedly urging Poland and other Eastern European countries to transfer their Russian-made MiG fighter jets to Ukraine. The Biden administration is also working on a plan to backfill any fighter jets given with U.S.-made F-16s. One advantage of Russian jets is Ukrainian pilots are already trained to fly them. They could also be deployed quickly. Poland has yet to sign off on the idea, which could potentially escalate tensions